All right, so we're about to get started with the workshop. Let's just wait a couple, just give 1 minute so we can get started with it. About to get started right now, so we're just waiting a couple minutes. Hello, yeah, we're working. About to get started with the screen and the workshop. One sec, and we will get going. All right, so checking. Can you guys hear me? All right, so let's get started. First thing, I wanna welcome you all. This is going to be the first workshop we're going to be doing. In this case, we're going to be going over how to create AI agents with the Midnight SDK, right? So we're going to have the main objective. First, we're going to set up the Midnight MCP. This will allow us to connect any agent to the Midnight blockchain. And secondly, we're going to configure this MCP into an AI agent. And for now, we're going to be using Eliza OS, but I want to state clearly that you can use whichever AI framework you might want. In this case, we're doing the demo with Eliza. And we will configure the AI agent, and in the demo section, we're going to communicate with the AI agent via Discord. So this is to showcase that this can be a community bot, for example, so you can interact with it. It can be like your personal own bot that manages your wallet. You can have a hot wallet with the AI agent and just use it as an assistant because you communicate with it with natural language, right? So you will say like, okay, let's send these many tokens to this address, and then you have to wait for it, right? You don't have to do any crypto stuff. You're using natural language to communicate with the agent. Okay, so yeah, we have the first question here. Yeah, we're going to be configuring the Midnight NCP that's allowing the wallet to be connected to the blockchain, and then we're going to configure an AI agent. So the AI agent is going to be using Eliza OS, and we're going to communicate with it via Discord. Okay, and also I want to share how we're going to be structuring the session, right? We're going to have a project overview. That's going to be the first topic. Then we're going to go into the setup, actually getting hands dirty with the code and terminal and all of the technical stuff. Then we're going to do the demo, see the AI working. And finally, we're going to have a Q&A section that that we are going to get questions and of course getting that into your doubts. Okay, first going back to the project. How does the Midnight MCP works? Right, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. So This allows us to create and facilitate multiple tools to an AI agent. For example, in the Midnight MCP is a project, and we under the hood are using Midnight JS. So all the NPM modules that Midnight um, provides, we're using them in our MCP. And our MCP is then exposing tools to the agent. For example, it's exposing wallet status, it's exposing balances. So you can request what is my native balance, what is my X token balance, and exposing transactions. So you can request, hey, send these many tokens to this address, and that's exposed to the through the MCP. Um, and from there we can build as many tools as we like. For today, we're going to be going over shielded tokens, but in the future, tomorrow's workshop, we are going to be taking a look at some DAO tooling, right? So we have configured a DAO that's for the upcoming workshop tomorrow. And at that point, we're exposing DAO tools also via the NCP. I want to clarify the NCP is open source. You can see in the description we have the GitHub repo for it. It's open source, so you can clone it, fork it, make your specific changes, because some contract integration require specific changes. And if you are just using it like a wallet, then you don't need to do anything aside from what we're going to be doing today. Configure it and start using it. It's going to provide you with an address, and you will be able to receive funds, um, see your balances, make transactions, all of that through natural language, and even through Discord chat. All right. So we have, as I mentioned, this is the Midnight NCP, right? So we are going to boot that one up, and then we're going to boot the agent. We are going to be working with Eliza OS, but in the end, you can use whatever framework you want, because the MCP protocol is exposed that way. It's in a standard, so any agent can read it, see what tools it has available. The NCP explains itself to the agents. So when the agent requests what tools do you have, the NCP provides a descriptive response. I have these many tools, and these are the parameters, these are the requirements for me to run these commands, right? Okay, so from the from the general overview, we're going into what are we looking at today for Midnight. We're going to be looking at shielded tokens. So we created a smart contract for a demo shielded token. The specific contract, we're going to be taking a look at it on Friday, because that's the contract specific workshop. But we're going to use it today. Yeah, we will get into screen sharing and configurations right now. I'm just laying out what we can expect from today's call. Um, and yeah, in fact, that's it, right? Now we can move into the actual repository and getting started with configurations. Okay, so I will also share with you this document. This document is also in the description. It is called workshop file. You can go take a look at it, copy it, and we're going to be following these steps basically today. Doing these steps, we are going to start by the requirements. There are some requirements prior to getting started. We're going to be running on Node 22.15.1. We're going to be using Eliza OS. Forgot to add the version here. So that is Eliza 1.5.9. We're going to be using Docker. This is the standard Docker. And we are going to be using the proof server provided by the Midnight team. Right, so this is using proof server version 4. I have all of these already configured. We can come here. This is an existing version of it. Just check just to confirm. We're using Node 22.15.1. Other thing is Eliza OS, so we can do Eliza OS version. Has to be 159. That's right. Then we're going to check we have the proof server running. It is this one that I have here. So it is running, and it's running for Tesla. You can see here it's running for Tesla. All right, so we have our requirements covered. In here we have the link to the Dega repo. This is the MCP. We're going to be working on the workshop branch. This is the most fit for today's demo. And so let's get to it. We're going to start by cloning the the repo. Okay. So let me go to let's go to the and I will be updating if anything is misplaced or misconfigured. I will be updating it right now. So let's update this broken link here. That's right. But I want to do it via SSH in my case. So I will be doing SSH. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go to another tab. I don't want to use the same one. And I'm going to clone here, but I will do a different folder. So this is going to be MCP, let's call it workshop. Let me check. Okay, someone is complaining about the file being logged, but this is public on the web. Let me confirm that we have the correct. Anyone with the link is a viewer. Yep. So let me send it here. Probably it's a different it's a different link probably. No, it's the same link. Can someone else confirm? Oh, the repo. One sec. The repo is public too. So let me share the. Yeah, that one is correct too. It should be available. I don't know if someone else can confirm if we have the repo available. Okay, thank you. We got confirmation that someone else is using it. Okay, not a problem. Okay, so I have cloned the repo. Now let's go into it and let's continue using our handy file. Step two is to check out to the workshop branch. So let's do that. We're ready. Okay, now we're going to install dependencies. This is using Yarn. Just one thing here. I have a comment here on step 5. At least right now, please don't use the same wallet because that is, of course, it is a test wallet. So in the end, you will be able to use it if you want to. But right now, we don't want to have a sync issue, right? Like someone else using the seed at the same time that I'm using it. We know there's nothing relevant, nothing. There's no monetary value in it. So you're going to be running the first command, and it's going to generate a clean um, wallet for you. It's not going to generate, and it's not going to use an existing seed. Okay, so I have reached step 5. I mean step 4. So I'm going to do yarn build. Okay, that's done. Now I will be running the commented version of the fifth command. You have to run the workshop one without the seed. And if somebody needs tokens, I can send them to you. as part of the demo. Okay, we have another request. The document is in the description. It should be publicly accessible, so it doesn't have any permission. It's public, but you only have access to read it. You cannot modify it. Okay, so this is the result of running the fifth step in the document, and we got sensitive information here. So let me be clear. We have sensitive information after executing the fifth command. What do we have here? We have the midnight seed. This is the root access of your wallet. This is not to be shared. Of course, we're doing the demo. I need to explain it to you. You don't need to share it with anyone. I want to be clear because you might be implementing this later down the road. This is sensitive, both the seed and the mnemonic, because they are both interchangeable, right? Okay, so we need to store this one. I already have it. It's in the document. And in case you want or you might need access through wallet, you have the mnemonic there in case you want to set it up on a normal wallet. Aside from that, we get a very, very important section of configuration here. We need this JSON response to be able to communicate Eliza with the Midnight MCP. What is this doing? Basically pointing out, Eliza, you can talk to the Midnight MCP right here in this file. So it is the location and some envs, right? We're using since we created the agent does have a name that's for organization purposes. On your local, it's going to create some folders, and that's why it does use a name. And the rest of it is just the path to the executable MCP, right? Okay, let's take a quick water break here. One sec. All right, let's continue. Okay, so we have gone through step number 5. We have configured the agent. Okay, so now that we have configured the agent, we are going to save this specific um, configuration, right? That is step 6 on the document. So I have it copied here. So I have the seed on the document, and we have the NCP server configuration as well. Okay, now what? What do we do next? We need to copy some envs. So let me run this command in the same. All of this is run in the root of the Midnight MCP. Okay, now that we have env file, I will open it, right? So even though we have some some secrets there, everything that I'm doing is a test version of it, so there's no monetary loss. Okay, well, I'm going to open the example. I'm not going to open the final one because in the end, I will be very literal about what we're doing here. Okay, so this one does have the basic configuration, which is our agent ID. We have a network that we are working with. Right now it is testnet. And from there we have a configuration for the proof server, right? In case you want to put it in a different location, you can change all of these. But as of now, we're using the local proof server, and the rest we're using the public available indexer and also the node. We have here the port that we are going to be running the wallet, and some other config that is coming later in the upcoming workshops. Aside from that, what we need to change, let's make sure after we copy it to the env, we are going to edit the final one. We need to change this to the workshop in the case you use the same name as I did, and we need to In my case, I'm going to be using a token. So I will be adding a example token, and that's what I will be doing, nothing else. So once set here, I will do that change. I will not be I will not be sharing it because in the end we have OpenAI tokens and stuff. Let me see here if I can get the. Oh, actually, there's no secrets. So let me share it with you. I will edit it and share it with you so we can all take a look at it. So let's get into it. So this is the actual ENV. I already changed the name of the agent, and I will be adding a token, right? So I will be adding a test token that we have. And now that we're almost ready, let's see. Okay, I have here the eighth step is to add the token, and then run the server. Just prior to running it, let's take a quick look at the structure of the repo. Right, that is something very important for you to be able to understand how this works and how you can make changes in case you want to. Just one sec, I'm checking the chat again. Okay, so can we get confirmation that you can see the Google Doc file? Um, you have you have a couple comments stating that they cannot read it. Okay, but and also I know you want to follow up, but if we have like a technical issue versioning or something, that will have to be we can discuss that later. I don't want to be rude, but we need to get moving, right? And just let me confirm the yarn version. That's the one that I didn't provide. My yarn version is 4.1.0. So that is, in case that is relevant, I will add it to the document. Requisite is going to be yarn. Okay, so, okay. And I can see a lot of people can access the document. So give it a try. Try to reload without cache or something similar. Thank you. We got confirmation from yarn 4.1.0 and it works. Definitely, if something doesn't work, it is most likely versioning. I can tell you this because we're running it right now in Mac OS. I used to run it daily on Windows. It's a completely different machine, and I was able to run it here without any issues. So somewhere there must be like a version incompatibility, right? Okay, let's go into the structure of the project. This is the Midnight NCP. We have repeated this many times, but it's important for us to know how it is built. So this one is built based on um, model context protocol. So this is the um, the base of the entire MCP project for Midnight. This is the base of exposing it to any agent framework. From there, we have a lot of midnight dependencies. And please take a note in case you are making some broader development. All of these are using version 2.0.2. That is very, very important because if not, you might get some errors and smart contract mismatch. And even if you don't get mismatch, you can try to broadcast and it's going to complain something about a typing that is TypeScript. So in the end, it's not like the blockchain is going to fail, but TypeScript doesn't let it be broadcast. So when you try to broadcast a transaction, that's going to fail because TypeScript is doing some checking and it doesn't work. So this is like the minimal version we have right now for this project to be running. Okay, we have a lot of other commands here, so that's why we have the specific workshop document, and also we have a set of documentation files here, which are very detailed about the entire project, right? Because we're running it right now in dev mode. We're going to be running it like yarn dev, but in the end, the project does run on Docker. So for production models, you will be doing setup Docker instead of setup agent. That's going to make a different set of configuration and a bit different of the results, right? It's going to be in a specific location and it's going to display the same explanation. So you are always going to get your notes in your script. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay, what else is relevant here? When we run the project, we are in dev. At that point, we're starting a Express server, right? Why we made that decision? We have an Express server because we need, in case we need to run the wallet 24/7, that server can stay up. And it doesn't matter if you turn off the agent. You can turn off the agent without losing sync of the wallet. So we decided to split it in between like a bridge, which is the MCP being exposed, and the core of Midnight, which is syncing the wallet and having access to the funds and the rest of the blockchain executions, right? So Jarn Dev is going to start the Express server, and then your agent, for example, Eliza, is going to call this STDIO, standard input output server. And this one is just like a middleware. So Eliza is going to request what tools do you have to the STDIO. The STDIO is going to reply, I have balances, I have send transaction. Then in case Eliza requests, okay, give me the balance of this token, this server is going to make an HTTP call to the Express server. So if we get into code, the STDIO server is here. This is using the model context protocol. Um, we are creating a server. Here we're using the agent ID. This does take role in the file storage locally, and from there we're exposing the tools. This one that we have here, we're exposing the tools that we have. So if we go to tools, in here we have the entire set of logic you are exposing of Midnight to the agents. So we have wallet status, wallet address, wallet balance, send a transaction. Once you have sent, we have multiple verification mechanisms, and we have the wallet config. We have some other stuff that is not going to be present in the workshop. Now we are going to talk about them later, like a marketplace and some other stuff. And we even have some tools for the DAO. This is coming up tomorrow when we are going to be interacting with the DAO, right? So in here we have all the tools, everything that the agent can do in the Midnight MCP. So once we get a call here, you can see we have the like the middleware here. All of this is the middleware. And when we have a wallet status, we're calling the Express server, wallet status, wallet address, and everything, and um, even sending parameters, right? So we have here wallet send, list token, and whatever. We have all of the endpoints. We have them here. So this is like the connection in between the Eliza and the real Midnight tooling. Right? Okay. So if this is the middle, where is the real Midnight stuff, right? Where is the wallet being created? Okay, that one is in server. Server is exposing everything of the Midnight Wallet, right? So we have a lot of endpoints. The status, transaction, DAO stuff, marketplace stuff. Okay, we're going to leave that aside for now. And to look deeper, we have the wallet here, right? So wallet is thinking in keeping a local state of the wallet, right? So we're, in this case, we're getting into Midnight details, right? So this is spawning a wallet from the Midnight Midnight SDK, right? From the Midnight JS. This is creating the wallet and it's storing a backup locally. And then when you close it and open it again, you can restore that wallet and you can send transactions. You can track the transaction. We have a logger. We have a log file, and we're going to see all of that in a minute. But I wanted to leave you with the specific location. So to summarize, we have the STDIO server, the middleware for agent to Midnight. Then we have Midnight server per se, and to specific we have the wallet, right? And from there we have some other stuff like the integration here. This is going to be relevant for tomorrow DAO demo, but for now that will be it. That is like the key and most relevant section of the code. Okay, once again, let me catch up with the chat here. Okay, so I can see, yeah, I want to add that. We're going to be available once the hackathon time frame start. So don't feel like left behind or rushed, right? I know if something doesn't work right now, we can be frustrated, but we're going to work through it. If it's not on today's workshop, then we might be able to do it on planned meetings the upcoming week and help you with the hackathon development and hackathon submissions. Should the token be? Let me check to confirm again. As the one that I already added here. Yes, it's the one ending in 58B. Okay, we have a working setup from Stephanie here, and we have an already synced wallet from uh, Narayan. My apologies if I mispronounce it. Let me have a quick water break. All right, so I hope you're not using my seat, right? You don't want to have any hiccups. And if you need tokens, I can send them right away. Okay, so we have already explained the project. We have it set up, and let's run it then. It is only yarn dev. This is because we already have the ENV, right? So we have the agent ID, we have it in the ENV. If not, that's why you would notice the JSON config does have the agent ID in the command. This is because if you're working from a different directory, if this is the one of the best options to do it. Just do it inline. If you have secrets, of course, that's not going to be a good idea. But this is the end configuration that we're going to use. For now, we're going to be running the command. I missed to show you the sync process. So it started with some relevant nodes here. So it started for 3000. Then it's saying I have no DAO configuration. I do have a token, so it is going to add it. Tokens are added and then persisted. So when you reboot, it's not going to add it again, right? That's going to be one single time. And uh, you can add multiple tokens. So I think we're using right now token one, and that's fine. You can add up to five this way, and there is other way explaining the docs, which is tokens without number, but you then have to use a separator here. You have to use a pipe in order to separate it, but that's not what we are doing right now. So we're working with a single token, and it was added. Then it started to sync the wallet, and it's even letting you know where it is stored in case you want to do a manual backup, right? You might have a project, and then you want to rebuild some stuff, but you don't want to redo the wallet thing. You can just go copy paste the Midnight wallet. This is for the the Midnight JS, right? Not the rest of the configuration. We have some transaction, local DB and stuff. All of that is you should not be copying it, but the wallet can be copied because this is like the standard backup of the wallet. All right, so we're saying okay, we have registered the fund. Why is the fund? So right now it is a funding token. We're going to be using in the DAO demo tomorrow. Then we can start seeing the wallet is syncing, and we have a gap. Gap meaning that uh, the code knows that there is a difference in between the tip of the blockchain and our side of the sync. So it's trying to catch up to the tip of the blockchain, and from there it goes. And when it's ready, it's going to tell you wallet is fully synced. You have your address and you have your balance. And also, once again, the location of the store backup. All right, so let's move into the level with step 8. Okay, at this point, you have your Midnight wallet, you have the MCP working, how we need to talk to it. And in fact, it's not even us. An agent needs to communicate with it. So we're going to set up an Eliza agent. Um, as I say, we're not going to get into much detail about starting the Eliza agent because this can be done multiple ways. There are multiple versions of Eliza CLI, and even that does bring some limitations because if you're doing one version, you cannot lightly update because they are doing constant development, and of course they are changing a lot the interface, and they have breaking changes. So I would suggest once you pick an AI framework, pick a version and lock it. You should not be updating your agents in the middle of a development. Right? Of course, you can have your upgrade cycle every couple weeks or months. You can do an upgrade, but most times that I do upgrade, it ends up causing some little delays, and you have to take that into account. Okay, so in this case, it's going to clone this. It is a public repo. Again, please confirm if you can access it or not. I already have Lisa OS installed, so let's go. Okay, one more mention is Lisa is running on Bun, so make sure you have installed Bun. But if you need Bun version, let's once again check it out. And this is not to say that it's like absolutely mandatory. Sometimes you're able to run everything from Node and everything from Bond or from Yarn, but just to keep in mind that you might get into compatibility issues, right? Okay, so this is clown. Okay, let's clone it. Okay, I'm looking at the time and I don't want to overcomplicate things. So this section of cloning the Eliza repo, I'm going to skip it and going to into the repo that I already have. So I have it cloned here. And let me see if okay, I have it already open, but let's make sure it's the same one. Okay, this is the one that I said I cannot share the END because we have the OpenAI thing there. And yeah, so I'm working on the origin main branch. So this is, as soon as you clone, this is the correct branch. This doesn't need to change. And I only have modified my character example. Let me also, you can ignore this Eliza backup. I'm just cleaning up the agent database because when you run Eliza, you get a database. So when you go back, you have the chat, the history, and all of that. And I wanna do clean stuff. So I made a backup once, and now we are here. Okay, so in here, let me we clone, we do bun install, that is going to install the dependencies. From there, we're going to copy the base env into the env, so I can show you the base. In the base, you need to add your OpenAI key. In this case, I'm using OpenAI. Of course, you can configure this to work with any other, well, not with any other, but with many other LLMs, and even local LLMs if you have a local LLM run. And the main takeaways here is update the API key. That's one thing. And secondly, update the same project, um, Eliza DB. Right. So I have here the PG Lite database there is a home path to there. The next is a example, right? And we have, in my case, my username, then my project, which is my directory for the entire workshop. Then is this project, and then you have the Eliza directory that we have here on the docs, on the files, and then we have the Eliza DB inside of there. Okay, so in case you want to do it, you just come to your working directory. You can use pwd, you get your main path, and from there you add Eliza, you add .eliza.eliza. Those are the only two changes that I made to my env: the API key for the LLM and the update for the database. Okay, now what is next? Um, okay, just a reminder here. Yeah, you copy the EMD and then you update the OpenAI and you update the directory for the Eliza database. From there, we run the agent. Eliza OS start is not running one agent because, as you can see, we have not configured what is the name, what is the purpose, the characteristic, the character of the agent. So this is starting the entire framework. Of course, this is going to uh, be different in many cases if you're not using Eliza, right? But we are using Eliza, so we're going to use Eliza start, and this is going to run the entire framework in which you can run multiple agents. Um, one more thing that's very important too is that I did add one extra thing. I'm going to add it to the document, and that is the Discord application in Discord token. These two um, ENVs are part of the changes that I made. So for the sake of transparency, I need to add them here. Okay, so we have those two, and we have the Discord token, and we have the Discord application ID. These two, you need to generate them on Discord. You go to Discord, you go to the development portal, you sign in, you accept being a developer, and then you get your first application, and you can customize it. You start setting some permissions. Of course, it is a bot and what it can do and not do on your server, and then you generate a link so you can link it to your Discord. Give me one sec here. Let me see. Okay, we're ready. We don't have any new comments for now. So let's continue. As I was saying, we can we can configure the agent to be connected to Discord. So we have it here. This is a server that I created only for myself, in which I added the agent. Right. This is getting into specifics. Right. You can do permission for it to be a DM agent, probably chat directly with it. But I added it to the server because you might want to do a community server, right? You might not have funds, but it can read some stuff. We're going to be looking at that tomorrow when we check the DAO. DAO information is going to be public. So, of course, the pod can be in a general chat or even in a specific channel, but publicly available. One very important thing is that we do not want to connect to a public channel a bot with funds, right? Because then anyone can do the command and is going to send out the funds, right? In this case, this is a private server, and that's why I'm using it. Okay, so this is Discord register in Handler. Everything is ready. Okay, Eliza, how do I start the agent? How do I create the agent? We're going to be using the Eliza interface here. And in this case, I will delete this. I will delete this agent. I will create a new agent, and I need to update something here because I changed the directory. So it is now workshop. Just to confirm, let me go here and access that folder and do this MCP workshop. Okay, and also I have the server running, we have Eliza running, we have the character. This character is in the repository. I just have modified the MCP. Remember that I said on step 7 or 6, check step 6, we have the MCP server config. So you can copy this entire um, code of block and replace the MCP section of Eliza. I'm replacing everything because we only have one MCP, right? If not, then you will be only adding the Midnight MCP if you have multiple MCPs. So the character is updated with the MCP. I go to Eliza, we're going to create the agent, so we're going to import here, and we're going to the, let's see if we can get it here. Apologies if I'm a bit rusted in macOS. Okay, with the character example. Okay, so there we have it imported. We have the agent, the description of it, and it does have the configuration for our MCP. So as soon as I click save, this agent is going to be created, but it's not active yet. We need to initiate it here. And as soon as we initiate it there, we can go back into the Eliza terminal. And this one is logging what the agent did. So we have here C3PO is my agent. So it was registered. And aside from that, it also reads the Midnight NCP. So it has it's reading 18 tools, right? We're just going to be using a couple today. So it does have many tools. And then, yeah, so then now the agent is able to communicate to the NCP. Okay, that is great. Now let's do a test. I've been working with the agent, doing sending funds and debugging and stuff. But now, let's try to. You don't need to tag it. Some messages that I have done don't have the tag in it. Please read the fund token balance. I'm requesting the agent to read the token balance. At that point, we are talking to Eliza. Right? So it's talking to C3PO in the Eliza framework or any other AI agents you might have. Once again, you can go to the terminal and see all the thinking that the agent is doing because the agent does think. You know, it makes like rational threads. You know, so the user requested these, and I have access to these many tools, and I can do X action. So we receive a message stating certainly I will retrieve the different token balance for you, and then we have your token balances of 91 defunct. All right, I don't know if we have someone here that can share the address with me so I can send you some defunct. Probably I can see one person already have the wallet sync, so probably we can get the wallet address, and that one is presented in the terminal for the yarn dev of the wallet NTC. You can see here an example of how is your address, or you can also request your address through the agent. Right? If you don't have Discord set up, you can do it here, right? In case you go into the chat, you can do questions here directly. You don't need explicitly connection to Discord. It's just like an add-on for us to be able to see that the agent is very versatile indeed. And if we don't have any volunteers, then I will use my test address, which is on the share file. So I will be using this test address. I will send funds there. Okay, let's go into Discord and okay, let's send. I don't know. Let's do 91. Let's do 13. Defund to this address. So right now we are requesting a transaction, and I will show you something very important because this one is going to reply that it's working on it, and then it's going to go to the MCP and through the blockchain. So if we go into Docker, we have not forgotten about Docker. This is the proof server. So right now, Discord send a message to the agent. The agent read the tools and calls for transaction. The Midnight MCP is going to execute the transaction. But in order to do so, it has to generate proof of it. So we can see right here, right now, this is a new log. So it's proving the transaction. It's proving the transaction, and after a couple of seconds, we should see, okay, there we have it. The transaction to send 13 defunct tokens to this address has been initiated successfully. Your transaction identifier is this. And yeah, so we already sent through Discord, through Eliza, through the MCP funds to this address. How cool is that? And everything we did is using natural language, right? So imagine if you have like an address, you can just say, hey, send this many tokens to this guy, send this many tokens to Carlos, send this many tokens to Michael, and it's going to be all done via natural language, right? So let's give it a minute because the funds do take some time. When we are making transactions in Midnight, the tokens are moved from the available balance into a pending balance, and then they get added back into the available. That is correct. The question we have here about the model, yeah, the engine that I'm using personally in this demo is OpenAI, but you can configure any other one. Even with Eliza, you can do Gemini, you can do Olama, you can do local LLM via Olama. So yeah, we are using OpenAI for a demo. That's a convenience. you can do any of the available um, providers, and even you can even do something else, not Eliza. Like, of course, we have a great set of tools provided by Eliza, right? They have the Discord integration, which you only do the two specific tokens that I presented. You only add those two tokens, and it is connected automatically. So yeah, you can use anything, but we're using it because it is convenient. Okay, so let's see if we have an update because we used to have 91 tokens. So let's can you please read the different token balance again. And once again, yeah, we can be natural, so we can request something like, "Hey, what's the balance after the transaction, right?" And all of that is going the um, through the language model. Okay, so we have a response. Please read the different token balance again. It first lets you know that it's working on it, right? So you don't get nervous or anxious about it. And then it's telling you your current balance of the fund token is 78. So we have configured the MCP with a wallet. It can be a new wallet or it can be an existing wallet. From there, we clone the Eliza repo. You can create your own. You can use other frameworks. From there, we added ENVs and connected to Discord, and we can chat with it, see our balance, and make transactions. We also have the native token. So, what about the native token balance? Because DFON is a shielded token, and that is for a specific purposes, right? But if we ask about the native token balance, that is going to tell you your gas balance, basically. How much do you have to pay for transaction, uh, even if we know is a it's an easy token. What I mean by that is that we're not going to be uh, heavily reliant on it, right? The intention is to use shielded token with your specific added value, but you need the native token. We need dust, right? So if we ask about the native token, it's going to tell us I got 1,000 from the faucet, and even though I have been doing multiple tests, you can see here it's like 8 hours of, of testing and transactions. I still have 999 tokens. Okay, one sec. Let me have another water break. Okay, so now let's get into specific about questions. Now we can go back. Someone is having an issue. We can confirm version of the dependencies, and even if you have like open questions about Midnight, open questions about Midnight JS, about the AI agents, about the setup, about the hackathon, right? So let's see if we have questions. Okay, we have a great question. Can this be multi-account compatible? Yes, that is via Docker, right? How would you do that? That's a great question, actually. So let's get back into the desktop. How would you do that? Okay, first, the MCP. The MCP, what we did, you might not, uh, you might not have noticed it, but we're running locally. Locally means we have a storage folder. This is a non-committable folder, right? This is your personal uh, docs. In here we have the logs in case someone else needs something. You can always come back here, and this one is coming from the first time you boot the agent. Doesn't matter if it turns off and on again. That's going to continue logging to the same file. This one is in the storage logs, and then the name of your agent. We have seeds, and then we have our specific seed. We have transactions DB. This is in order to track transactions. Since we did um, a shielded transactions, that is stored somewhere different. Okay. In here we have the Midnight Wallet JSON. This is the entire state of the wallet. This is a huge file, right? So this continues to grow as you continue to use the wallet. Okay, so we're talking about multi accounts. How will we do that? It would not be feasible to do it locally. You can do it, right? You can run this one and then run another one with a different ENV, right? In that case, you would not be using the ENV here on file, the name of the agent. You would not be using it here. You would be using it on command, right? So like, let me interrupt it now that we have finished the process. Okay, let me close it. I have closed Eliza. At this point, the website stopped working, and the connection to the Discord channel is going to shut down in a minute. Okay, and then we can close the wallet. Okay, that way you will be running it like agent ID name yarn dev. You can open other terminal agent ID um, assistant agent ID PR and multiple agents, right? And you will have to use the agent ID here, and that's going to store the resulting files in a different location locally. But the best way to do it is via Docker. When you do the Docker setup, it's going to generate an agents folder, and it's going inside of that agent folder. You're going to get this configuration of a Docker Compose. So it's going to be using the agent ID you select, and then it's going to boot up a container. At that point, I don't have anyone here. I can prepare um, one for the upcoming workshop in order to demo you that use case if we have time. But yeah, that will be using Docker. So one Docker is going to be uh, using X wallet. The second Docker is going to be using a different wallet. What changes there? We have the port. We have the port of the server. So you can have one wallet running on port 3000, one on port 3001, and multiple wallets, right? And that's the way to do it because we are going to be splitting each wallet per container. That is the best way. And you can share the proof server, right? The proof server, if they are, if all those wallets are on the same VM, then you can share the proof server because at that point that you are inside of the VM, you already have access to the keys, right? So there's no limitation there. You only need one proof server to run multiple wallets. But of course, you have to think about concurrency. If you're making multiple requests at the same time, that's going to overload the proof server because generating proof for Midnight does consume some resources. So when you're making the proof, the CPU consumption gets high. So doing concurrent proof generation, that will be something to give it a try. You know, I wouldn't encourage to do multiple at once. Yes, we have a Discord server. So um, let me get the details for you to be able to join and chat with us, right? Of course, if you go into the hackathon section, you will be able to um, get all of our links, right? Let me get the specifics we have right now. Okay, so I will be adding this to the description of the video so you can have access to our socials. Okay, there we have the Discord, we have the official website, we have the LinkedIn and the hackathon. Let me know if you can see the links. And if not, then I will send them via chat here too. I think that is not possible. Probably they don't want us to spam everything. One sec. I know you're continue to ask question. One sec. I'm sending the links via chat. That's fixing a formatting issue here. Let me know if you can see the links and if they are available. Um, okay, so we have. Okay, we have another good question here. What is the point of Eliza OS? That is a good question. So for us to understand the different working pieces, we want to integrate for Midnight, right? So the Midnight MCP is Midnight blockchain logic, Midnight JavaScript logic exposed to MCP. MCP are in specific what the AI agents understand. So at that point, Midnight MCP is all the logic, the wallet, the syncing, the transactions exposed to any agent. You can connect it to whatever you want. We're using Eliza. What is Eliza doing? Eliza is the website that I launched, allow you to create multiple agents, and it has um, features like allowing us to connect to Discord, right? You can use other frameworks, that's fine. So yeah, Eliza is the communicator, right? It's going to take listen to Discord, bring it to its logic, then send it to the provider of, for example, OpenAI or Gemini or whatever other AI provider you're using, get a response, then um, ask the tooling, like the NCP, what do we have here? So it's like getting all the building blocks. So I have the message or request. I check with the AI provider what I have to do. For sure, it says check the tools. So it asks what tools do I have. So now I have the request, the tools, and the action, which is coming from the AI provider, and then it can result into a decision making. Right? So the user requested to send funds. What should I do? Check the tools. The tools does have send fund functionality, right? And I have the data. So it sends it to the OpenAI, and OpenAI says, okay, the user wants you to send fund, you have the tool and you have the data. Call this tool and send this data, right? So Eliza is basically doing all the handling, the routing and everything. But yeah, you can use other frameworks, and that's entirely up to you. It's like Discord, right? We use Discord as a demo purpose, but you can integrate it with some other tool. You might want to do it with a Slack. You might want to do your own connection and talk to it via HTTP request, right? In fact, we're doing that in one of the tests. Let me share it to you. We have an integration test which is doing that. So in here, we have the integration test is running against the project initiated and loaded in Docker. So this is testing like a real production deployment. And what this is doing, in order to generate messages, in order to talk to the AI, it does goes through Eliza API, right? So let me see one second. No, it's not that one. It's the integration test. It's the end-to-end test. My apologies. The end-to-end test. So this one is sending chat messages. It's testing end-to-end because it's sending chat messages to the AI agent. Right? So first it boots the agent, and then it starts to wallet status, right? So see, we have some skip test there. Okay, to verify the balance, it's extractable. This is a pure function. To check the wallet status. Okay, here we're sending Eliza client. This is an HTTP call to Eliza, sending this message. So when we start this end-to-end test, this is going to simulate a texting to the agent, and the agent is going to reply back. So yeah, what is your end goal with the agent? That is open to many opportunities, right? Can be Discord, can be Slack, can be integration with WhatsApp. I don't know, X, Twitter, right? So yeah, Eliza is doing all the routing and all the decision making using your AI provider, right? So you can do other frameworks, and you can also do other providers if you don't want, or if you already have a preferred provider. Okay, so I think that is going to cover everything that we had for today. Let me confirm here. Yeah, that's what we have for right now. And I want to thank you all for the time. We have already shared the links, so you can join us at the hackathon. We have the Dora Hacks link. We have our website, dega.org, and you can join our Discord too, in which you will be assisted for your setup and for the hackathon. We really want to bring you the attention of the hackathon. It's going to be something really cool. We're going to be building cool stuff. You're going to be assisted. There is a nice prize for the third place. That's going to be $1,000. Second place is going to be 2,000, and first place is going to be $5,000. So definitely, if you have the time, and even if you're not into technical development, you can still join. You can you can team up with someone else, right? Because hackathons require more than programming. They require someone to do product ownership, design, and also testing. So definitely don't feel discouraged, even if you're not on the tech side. You can join. We can help you find someone to team up with, and you can guys join the Midnight and privacy focus development. Also, as a summary, I want to reiterate, we tested shielded token. What does it mean? Nobody knows who's receiving the token. Nobody knows anything, right? So that is the power of using Midnight, which is focused on the privacy. Tomorrow we're going to be showcasing a DAO demo, right? We're going to be setting up a simple DAO contract. I mean, the contract is going to be already set up. We're going to demo it, and we're going to look in depth of the contract logic on Friday. But tomorrow we're going to demo the DAO. We're going to be able to generate a proposal, vote on a proposal, then close the voting period, and then be able to withdraw funds from the DAO only if the proposal was approved. And yeah, all of that is going to be once again through Discord, and going into our Midnight MCP on the blockchain, a real world example, right? And on Friday, we're going to get deep into smart contracts, which is very interesting what you can build with Midnight, because in the end, data is not stored publicly, right? We're storing commitments, we're storing a proof that we know something, a proof that we own something, but is protected by the fact that the data is not public. And it's not a permission thing, because you can do many privacy focused contracts on many other blockchains, but that depends on who can decrypt the data, right? But in Midnight, the data is not there. It's already obfuscated, right? So it's a very interesting topic in case you're into privacy, and we can do many things. Like an example, the DAO we're going to be discussing, the tally, the vote count is public, but nobody can link a voter to a vote. So if you participate, you cannot be linked to which vote did you send, a positive or a negative vote. That is entirely obfuscated. And as I said, it's not something that someone else with higher permission can view. It's not something that can be cracked. It simply doesn't exist on the chain. It's not obtainable. The data is not there, but your vote does count, and that is something very interesting for the upcoming days, and data privacy requirements, right? All right. So we have one more note here. Can you have a transcript for the next two sessions for practice and reviews? Okay. I want to be very explicit. We have the everything we did is on the document in terms of commands and steps in order. So I'm going to, this is public, and we're going to have one for tomorrow's workshop and one for Friday's too. And I will check with the team if we can have like a transcript of the entire workshop. All right. So if we don't have any other technical question, I have to say it has been a pleasure to be with you. It has been a um, very good time, right? And if you have any question, you can prepare them for tomorrow. If you have to think about it, if you think you're going to give it a try, probably you were not able to run it right now. Check the versioning. Um, as I said, this is a clean environment. You should be able to run it. And in case you were not able to, you can join the Discord channel, and we will be happy to assist you there. All right, it's been a pleasure. I will leave you here um, with the outro. A couple of minutes if you want to chat or copy links or anything. And in a couple of minutes, the stream is going to end. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.